I know that you've heard us say that our sponsors make our convention possible, and one of our longtime sponsors is Ellii. Woohoo! And today we have the founder and CEO of Ellii, Ben Buchwald. Please bring a few words of greeting to Ben. Ben, come to the stage.
Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me.
Those are really crazy bright lights. It's super bright. Deborah, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit because I was going to say the same thing about meeting great people here, but I'll say it again. So anyways, my name is Ben Buchwald. I'm the founder at Ellii. We're a really small company. We're a tiny little publishing company, but we've been at it for 20-something years. And TESOL has always had a real place in our hearts for a long time. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about my own experience with this conference. I'm not going to talk about our product or anything like that. I'll just tell you what I think about this conference. So I first came to TESOL the very first time in 2006, which was right here in Tampa. Was anybody here that year? Yeah, oh, a lot of people. Maybe I even met you that year. That was my first time coming, and I had heard, because I only had one employee at the time, we were really small, and I had heard that if you go to TESOL, you'll make it as a publisher, and everybody will buy your product, and so, and I also heard that there would be 6,000 people at the conference, so I had two products at the time. Ellii used to be called, oh, it's not up there, but no, it's right here. Ellii used to be called ESL Library, that was one of our products, and our other one was English Avenue, 2 websites. I heard there'd be 6,000 people, so I thought I'd better bring a brochure for every single person in case they all happen to go by my booth. And I had 2 products, so that's 12,000 brochures I had printed up. And I ended up seeing around 50 people. I gave about 50 brochures out. And I live in Canada, and so I had them printed here, but I didn't want to waste them, so I shipped them all back to Canada, which cost more than my flight and my hotel. To ship that weight really heavy back. So I vowed I would never come back to TESOL. And, but the next year was going to be in Seattle, and my parents live in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and I thought that would be a nice excuse. I had never been to Seattle, and I thought I could also go up and see my parents after. And so I said, okay, I'll go one more time. And same sort of thing, only a few people came by my booth. And I vowed to never do it again. And anyways, the next year was going to be in New York, and I had never been to New York. And I really loved David Letterman, and I thought that would be a chance to go and see him live, which I did, and I went to the show. Anyways, so for years, year after year, I kept saying that was the last one. Until finally, in 2014, I think, I said to Tara Benwell, who's here somewhere, she's our head writer, head of publishing, and largely in charge of all the great materials we've been making over the years, that was our last one. We couldn't afford it anymore. And she reminded me of one thing, that this is not about selling at this conference. It's about meeting people, as Deborah was saying, and it's about connections and learning. And it was true. I mean, all the years that we kept coming back, it wasn't really about the city. It was the fact that we would meet these amazing people and form relationships and learn about the industry, and we'd learn from the sessions, and we'd have great conversation and communication. And I think that's what these conferences are about. We often just sort of have this time at our schools or our organizations, and we never really have a chance to get out and meet everybody else in the industry. And this is our one opportunity to do so. So we made a decision then to not only keep coming back, but to start supporting it in some way. And we started putting in what little money we had towards a small sponsorship, and gradually we grew a little bit over time, and we gradually started to be able to support the conference in bigger ways. And we're doing it now because we think that coming together once a year is really important. And there was sort of this feeling like maybe conferences a few years ago were starting to die out. I think now more than ever in this really like online world, in-person things are really important. So that's why we support the conference. That's why we keep coming to the conference. And we're just, we're really happy to have been here for the past 18 years, coming every year, year after year. So that's all I wanted to say. And yeah. But I'll say just two, so I guess that's not all I want to say. I'll say two quick things. Number one, actually three things. Number one, I thought there was supposed to be a slide up here, but it's not too late to enter our draw, and it's ellii.com/win. And Ellii is ELLII.com/win, and we're giving away an Apple Watch every day at the conference, so today's last day at 3:45-ish, right after the TESOL draw in the exhibit hall. So if you haven't entered, but maybe don't do that while the person is speaking, or I'm not sure who's up next, but in any event, ellii.com/win. And what did I say, three things? Yeah, so one more thing was that I wanted to also say there's a lot of smaller exhibitors in that room, and they spend a lot of money to come here, and part of them coming here really supports this conference. So if you haven't had a chance to go and speak to them, take the time, even if it's not to buy something, even if it's just to lend some advice or some feedback about their thing. It's nice to meet with those smaller publishers who are family-run businesses. So go ahead and please visit them if you can, if they haven't left yet. And lastly, thank you to the volunteers and everybody else who did so much great work at this amazing conference, which just feels really good. Thank you. Bye.